Welcome back everybody, this is lesson 3. Okay, so welcome, let's take a look at collocations, okay? So what are collocations? Collocations are the natural attraction of two or more terms in English becoming one idea. Okay, so for example, whenever you want to look for a job, okay, in English people normally say get a job, okay, but I don't know if you ever thought of that, but why don't they use the word go for a job or take a job? Why do they use the word get? Okay, there is no explanation, there is no specific explanation but that. It's just that's how the language decided to use, okay? This is how naturally both terms have attracted each other, okay? So these are collocations. Collocations are natural attractions between terms, okay? That's it. So let's take a look at our slides. Okay, collocations are groups of words that are commonly used together for a reason that escapes our imagination. That's how language works. Language is fluid, is a living thing. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples. Come, okay, we all know what the verb come is the opposite of going, right? So for example, you say in English come first, come second, come last, come close. Okay, so for example, he came last in the race. Okay, so if you are, for example, I am terrible with names of Formula 1 drivers, but you know, Fernando Alonso, right? Something like that, isn't it? I don't know. If he wins the race, he will probably come first, right? Okay, but he can also sometimes in a bad race come second or even come last. Okay, why did they use come? Okay, nobody knows. That's just how language works. Okay, that's it. Let's move on. For example, have. We all know that have is very important, right? Have sometimes doesn't only mean possession, right? Sometimes it could even be a substitute for eating, right? So for example, instead of say, oh mom, I ate a banana for breakfast, you can say, oh mom, I had a banana for breakfast. That's very common, okay? So that's why you can always use have for different situations. For example, have fun, have a meal, have a good time, okay? And so have is also very versatile. It's a versatile verb, okay? That's it. The next one is take. Oh my god, you can use that all the time. For example, take a look. So take a look at these slides. Take a look at these examples, okay? And whenever you are tired, you can even take a rest. Okay, there you go. Or you can even take a chance, which means something like to give a shot, right? You could take a chance on your Japanese classes, right? There's a lot of possibilities. So let's take a look at the example. If I had time, I'd take a look. Okay, that's it. Take a look. We use that expression all the time, okay? The next one is, where is it? Get. Okay, get is maybe the most versatile verb there is in English, okay? Whenever you don't know how to express something, use get and you'll be fine, okay? That's my hint for you, okay? So for example, we always use with get a job, get a code, get a clue. Okay, now for example, with coronavirus, you know, that's not maybe a good idea to get a code, right? That's you should protect yourselves, right? Stay at home, right? Watch IBL videos, right? Okay, but as we said, you could get a job, right? You never say, oh, I take a job. No, that doesn't sound right. Just get a job, okay? Get always have that feeling of something being done, action, right? Get a code, okay? Not a good thing to do nowadays. Get a clue, okay? And so let's take a look at the example. Very common verb in English, however, it's not always appropriate, okay? We need to get a job very soon. Okay, that's it, okay. Fantastic. Let's take a look at the next verb. So go and turn. Go and turn, they have similar meanings, okay? It always applies to transformation, okay? But so let's take a look of how different they could be, okay? The first one, go, okay? It's often used with colors and words with negative associations, okay? He's only 30 and he's going bald. Okay, if you consider being bald a bad thing, okay, so you probably would agree with that, okay? But the true thing is that you never say he turned bald. That sounds too much for my ears. You always say go bald, okay? You can always say, for example, go blind, go deaf, okay? Or go mute, right? That's it. So it's applied for transformations in a bad way, okay? But it's also meant for transformations who are not fully complete, okay? For example, we left the milk in the sun for too long and it's gone bad, okay? That's it. So now let's take a look at turn, okay? Turn is, we can use turn for colors and for complete transformations, okay? For example, bananas turn black if you put them in the refrigerator. Ooh, yes. Being there, done that, okay? Bananas do that, okay? They turn black if you forget about them, okay? Next one, the caterpillar turned into a butterfly, okay? So this sounds like a fairy tale, right? So it's a full transformation. That's beautiful, right? There you go. The next ones are become, okay? Very sophisticated verb, okay? Become can be used with the same collocation as get, but in a more formal way. Okay, there you go. You're right. My sister got depressed after she moved to a new town. Okay, I think got is a simple verb. You just need one syllable, right? Got, get. Right? That's very easy. And became, it's a little bit more sophisticated, okay? So you apply the way you want, okay? But for example, in that situation, my sister became depressed. I think became is more suitable because we're talking about something serious, right? Something that requires a little bit of attention, right? You don't want to use any verb. Get is very informal, right? Important, always use become with professions, okay? My son wants to become a lawyer one day, okay? And that's it. So let's take a look at some of the expressions. Now we are advanced students, so the expressions are very sophisticated, right? So, okay, no, not yet. We are still talking about collocations, okay? We have catch a cold. You could also say get a cold. Catch the flu, not a good idea to do nowadays. Catch pneumonia, okay, I don't even need to talk about that. It's rain, don't go out, you catch a cold. Okay, there you go, another way of using catch. Okay, you can also use catch for buses. You can catch a bus, right? Why not? Or and that's it. Okay, have an attack of bronchitis, asthma, diarrhea, sinusitis. She'd had an attack of asthma. Ooh, okay, there you go. Now, if you're feeling bad, you know how to express that in English, right? There you go. Next one, be diagnosed with, okay? So in this situation, we are only talking about medical conditions, right? So it's very important to learn that, okay? So we could have an attack of all these diseases and illnesses, or you can be diagnosed with lung or breast cancer, God forbid, okay? Leukemia, okay? So let's take a look at the example. My friend's been diagnosed with leukemia. Okay, that's it, okay? This is an example. Nobody got hurt during the making of this class, okay? The friend is okay, he's alive, okay, thank God. There you go. And you can also suffer from asthma, backache, oh my God, hay fever. I never suffered from asthma. This is the example they gave to us, okay? There you go. Okay, now we're talking about expressions, okay? So the first expression is to lend in year two, okay? We all know some kind of people like that who always have attention to listen to other people, right? So whenever you listen to someone's problems, right, you don't know, but you are lending your ear. You're lending an ear, right? So you should lend an ear to your teacher, right? You should listen to him, right? The next one is helping hand, okay? In the same situation, you are trying to help someone, right? So instead of giving some help, okay, you could use in an expression, helping hand, right? The maid has been such a helping hand, right? Or you could even give a helping hand, right? It's like giving somebody help, right? Next one, middle of nowhere, okay? That's pretty much the expression says it all, right? I work in a factory in the middle of nowhere, okay? So it's in the middle of nowhere. There is nothing around, not even a store, not even some building, you don't have houses, okay? So it's in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing there, okay? As soon as, okay, that became popular because of internet, right? Because we have all already seen this expression being used, ASAP, right? So which means, now if you don't know, as soon as possible, okay? So send me a message as soon as possible. So the person needs that message very quickly, right? So if you have time, the first thing you should do is send a message, or you could say, send me a message as soon as possible, okay? So sooner or later, okay? Sooner or later, he will know the truth, okay? We have an expression which is pretty similar in Portuguese, mais cedo ou mais tarde, right? So sooner or later, he will know the truth. The act of knowing the truth will soon happen, okay? You don't have to do anything. It will naturally happen, right? The next one, kick the bucket. Oh, okay, so kick the bucket. You should never translate that entirely, directly to Portuguese, right? Because you might get confused, because you never kick anything when you kick the bucket. Kick the bucket will be something close like bater as botas, right? Like die, right? So my hint for you is never translate that. Kick the bucket means something more serious, which is die, right? It's a softer way of saying that somebody died. So for example, she kicked the bucket 2 months ago, okay? So if you don't want to use the verb die, she died 2 months ago, you can always use kick the bucket. It's a little bit softer, right? Next one, die for. This one is the opposite, okay? Because even though it has the word die in it, it doesn't mean literally death, right? So for example, it was so hot, I was dying for some cold soda, okay? So the person is not actually dying, right? But he's using it in a metaphorical way, right? So he wants to say that he really wants some cold soda, right? So he's using a strong language for that. I am dying for some soda, okay? If you are like me, you would die for some açaí, right? I love açaí, right? But I wouldn't kill myself because for açaí, right? Because of açaí. You got the idea, right? Make a complaint, okay? This is another collocation, right? So whenever you want to complain about something, especially formally, right? You can use the expression make a complaint. I want to talk to the manager. I need to make a complaint about a bad service. So the pizza wasn't hot, or it wasn't good, it wasn't tasty, right? So you should make a complaint about that, okay? Have you ever made a complaint about something, right? Let me know, right? Be grounded, okay? This one is nice, okay? So if you are a very naughty boy, if you do a mess all the time, right? Probably your parents will make you be grounded, right? They will ground you, right? So you are grounded. Now go to your bedroom, right? That's it. So no telephone for you, no video games, no computer games for you. You are grounded, right? You are grounded until tomorrow, right? That's it. So we all do that with our children, right? Naughty children, right? There you go. And that's all for today, okay? Thank you for having me, and I see you next lesson.